start the recording because I didn't start in time. Meeting is called to order 2:33 p.m. December 5th, 2024. There is no minutes to vote on. They will be presented at the next meeting. We are going to start with our new business. Can I have a motion to approve items 24-51 through 24-54, which are revisions of ENT curriculum?
So moved.
Motion to approve. Oh, thank you. A second? I have a second, please.
Second.
Thank you, Glenn. For the four revisions, we have C248V ENT Mechanical Design AAS, C446I ENT Electrical Certificate, C448S Fabrication Certificate, and C448Y, which is ENT Welding Certificate. You see the four on your screen right now. Antigone, can you present these, please?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the moment. What we're doing is just basically doing a variety of housekeeping. We're updating the course fees. We're moving things around so that they're presented correctly.
Can you just speak on the four certificates first? The four curriculum first. We're going to do the courses after that.
Okay. Regarding the curriculum, the major changes are just literally housekeeping changes, turning what used to be petition requests into part of it. For example, the Physics 101 or ENT 295 option for the mechanical design degree. For the electrical certificate, it was presented improperly as seemingly like if it was one certificate, one semester. It's really a 2 semester. And adding the options there as well to remove some petition issues with students when they want to take one class instead of another, or have already completed one class and don't want to take another. So we put those options in there. The same with the fabrication certificate. The same with the welding certificate, the engineering tech welding certificate. So they're predominantly housekeeping changes across the board.
So why was the titles changed? Just to get rid of engineering technology? Did you get rid of those two words?
No. The engineering technology welding certificate was updated to be welding fabrication certificate because it is not strictly the act of welding that's covered in there. It's also what some people might misunderstand is it also includes fabrication. And I know this is a rabbit hole topic depending on who you are and your understanding of the processes, but in order to clarify things, because we are introducing a basic welding certificate, we didn't want people thinking this was like an advanced welding certificate. It's a welding fabrication certificate. It's a little more involved than simply the act of welding, which is what our basic welding certificate will be. As far as engineering tech fabrication certificate, I didn't change its title that I'm aware of.
It's just showing that engineering technology is gone and it will just be fabrication certificate.
That might be a typo on my side within watermark, to be honest. That could be me.
And the title for the first one is showing electrical certificate, meaning it would get rid of engineering technology.
Yeah, those are mistakes on my part. I don't know where I made that mistake, but that's
you don't want the title to remove the engineering technology.
No, that wasn't my intent. So that is a mistake on my part.
So for C446I, it's going to remain engineering technology electrical certificate. For C448S, it's going to remain engineering technology fabrication certificate. Susie, make a note of this. For C448Y, it's going to now be engineering technology / welding fabrication certificate. So it's only one title change on the fourth one on your screen.
Yes, that's my mistake. They're all under the same family, so that's why engineering tech is a part of all this. If it helps with marketing in the future, I'd be happy to drop off the extra language, but that wasn't actually. It could be a positive mistake that I made, but right now that wasn't an intentional mistake.
Okay.
That wasn't intentional. It was a mistake on my part.
Okay, that's fine. So yeah, we'll just get rid of the title changes for items 24-51 and
Also,
wait. It's the title. The only title change we're having is 24-54. So get rid of the other title changes for those, Susie, please. So we're going to vote on the minor updates to the engineering technology curriculum that you see on your screen right now, with the title change only occurring to engineering technology welding fabrication certificate. The rest are, of course, just our updated program learning outcomes and prereqs. Sue.
I just want to remind Antigone that ENT 118, ENT 117, those are coming off the books in about a year or two, are they not?
Yes, they are. There is a long-term couple of phases of changes occurring in our program. What we're doing right now is literally just phase one.
Okay.
I did not incorporate those at this moment. Because I want to cover them with my advisory committee, because I didn't actually cover that particular topic with them. But yes, that is 100% correct.
Okay.
We are going
make sure that
to
this is
knock
not
those out.
a finished fix. It's going to need more changing. Okay, thank you.
Yes, I agreed, 100%. Yes, thank you.
Okay, so we are voting on the first four items on your agenda, 24-51 through 24-54. All in favor, please raise your hand. Susie, let us know when we're okay, please.
Panos, waiting for Panos, and
There appears to
we
be
need
some
one
issue.
more.
Keep your hands up. Don't put your hand down yet.
Okay, we're good now.
Okay, lower your hands. Is there any opposition to items 24-51 through 24-54? Okay, those four items have passed. Thank you. We're sticking with Antigone. Can I have a motion to approve items 24-55 through 24-70? We have one deleted ENT course, 12 revised ENT courses, and 3 new ENT courses. And I'll update you in a moment after we get this motion. I have a motion to. Okay, and second?
Second.
Okay, so we have one deleted ENT 127 materials manufacturing and test processes, 3 new ENTs, ENT 209 robotic welding fundamentals, ENT 212 introduction to electrical vehicle charging systems, ENT 213 electrical vehicle supply equipment. Those are the 3 new. We also have 12 revisions. ENT 104 electric basic fundamentals, ENT 106 welding with material inert gas, ENT 107 welding with another inert gas, ENT 202 electrical sustainability applications, ENT 206 programmable logic controllers 2, ENT 211 CNC plasma fundamentals, ENT 232 descriptive geometry, ENT 252 introduction to mechanical AutoCAD, ENT 255 Autodesk Inventor Design and Rendering, ENT 260 Jig and Fixture Design, ENT 270 Machine Design, ENT 280 SolidWorks Design and Rendering. Okay, so Antigone, can you present to us the one deletion, the 3 new, and the 12 revised?
Yes, the deletion is occurring because we're not offering that class at all, ENT 127. So that's one we're able to eliminate immediately. There are other courses, as you heard just briefly from Vice President Campos. There are other courses we have planned to remove, but it requires a little bit of talking with our dual credit partners, so we can't wipe them out immediately. So that's in process. So one class we're able to wipe out because nobody's taking it and we haven't been offering it. The 3 new classes, ENT 209 robotic welding fundamentals, we started actually that class already. So it's really not a new class. So most of the items that we're dealing with are actually revisions to the courses. Like for 209, we up the fees
Can I
updated.
just ask you a question? These are not new courses, 209, 212, 213, because that's what I have them listed.
212 is a new course. 213 is a new course.
209 is not.
209, the robotic welding class was added last year. So
So Susie, is this a revision? Can you check your notes?
it could be, maybe I
I
did
looked,
something.
I didn't see it in the catalog, that's why I had it as new.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, there might be something else going on. Because we did run that class, we're planning to run it again. And that might be, by the way, Sue, that might answer that other question about why students aren't enrolling in it.
Excuse me, it wasn't in the catalog or it wasn't in Watermark ever?
No, I'm looking it up now.
Okay, because I don't know how it would run if it wasn't in there.
Yeah, it physically ran, so it was in the system.
Oh my God.
We ran it last spring. But everything related to the electric vehicle charging systems coursework is actually brand new content. It is being added as part of the Renewable Energies grant that the college has. And it's part of creating this certificate, and another one needs to get created automotive specific to work on EV cars. Ours is to work on installing and maintaining EV stations. So any place that you'll see an EV station, for those of you that have electric cars, we're developing students to become the people that will be able to go out there and repair those stations, install new stations. It's a wonderful new world, coming up. So
Antigone, where are these courses then housed, in what certificate?
they are in it'll be a brand new certificate that I think was also submitted, that I'm not sure what status it's in. Or maybe it'll appear in the next.
Well, I have welding as later on.
No, it would have been part of putting these courses in. I saw the content on it, but I'm not sure if it didn't make it to curriculum.
Hold on.
I know things happen. We had a lot of moving parts these last couple of weeks. We've been high maintenance for you. I'm sorry.
Susie, there's no other curriculum on the agenda that shows where these two courses would be.
The 248B, your degree, I thought it went in as elective.
It will go in as an elective. You are correct. It's going in as an elective, but it's also its own certificate.
Where's that?
But it has to be. I'm anticipate. It's got to be a Form 20. I remember working with Andrea on the Form 20 for the certificate, because it's it had to be made as a new certificate instead of a modification to our electricity certificate, because they're cousins, but they needed to be separate certificates.
Susie, can you look at Watermark and see if the certificate is in there?
209 is not a new course. It's in Colleague. It probably was not in Watermark. So that's revised. And what was the name of the certificate, Antigone?
It would have been Renewable Energies certificate.
No, we didn't get that. That I know we didn't get.
So the form wasn't completed on that one. I will have to inquire. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, so we could pass these two new classes if they're in this other certificate, and you're telling me that's C248V?
C248V is the degree. There would be elective options within.
Okay, so we could pass those as the electives, but we can't vote on that certificate right now then, because we have no information on that. When is the effective date on it for the renewable energy certificate for the EV cars?
It needs to be fall of 2025.
Fall of 25?
Yes.
Okay. So Susie, if she brings that to the first meeting in February, is that going to be enough time to have it for fall, the new certificate?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, mark that on your agenda, Antigone, to bring the new certificate then in fall of 20. It would have to be get it to the curriculum office by the 1st of January, by the first when we come back.
Got it.
So we can't leave that fall off the radar and then not have it ready. But the two courses we could certainly pass today, and that will be under C248V electives for the AAS.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, and so for all the curriculum committee members as well, ENT 209 is a revision, not a new course. We're fine with ENT 212 and 213 as new courses for EV, going into the AAS, soon to be in the February, the new certificate. And then there are 12 other ENT revisions. Actually, it would be 13 now if we move that ENT 209 into the revision column. There'd be 13. So do you want to just update us on these, please?
Generally speaking, we needed to update our fees because they're very sorely behind. They haven't been changed for some over 10 years. And our costs have only increased. Our toys are expensive, as I like to say, and students are good at breaking them. So the result is we're constantly having to get more supplies. And I appreciate, of course, that our course fees never directly come back to our department, but they do come back to the college, and we do have budgets that are from the college. So ultimately, in my grand thinking, whatever you want to call it, eventually we do get the funding we need for the items we need. So to ensure that we're charging an appropriate fee for the courses, I went in and actually looked at everything. I did not update the fees the way I really would have. I only put like a small update to each one, like $5, as you could tell, because I didn't want it to be a sticker shock or whatnot to the student population. So I only updated them a little bit. Outside of that, that was like my main concern. The other concern was correcting, doing more housekeeping. And then for some of the courses, putting in the prerequisite that allowance for or chair approval. That's literally across the board.
Yeah.
And the titles got corrected. We finally fixed some of these titles because
Okay.
electricity basic fundamentals just made no sense to anybody. And neither did the electricity 2 change we made. The electricity sustainable applications was never logical. We did it because of some other stuff going on back in the day. And we're happy to go back to more logical titles.
Okay. Good. That's good on the titles and the housekeeping. I have the prereqs updating to or department chairpersons, not for all the courses though, but I have specifically.
Correct.
Yeah.
Just certain classes, I threw it in there
Okay.
in conversation with everybody. Yeah, I pulled back. I agreed with the philosophy associated with thinking critically, order of operations, what's really going to matter. And I went back, and instead of having the prereq, wherever I remember a pattern of allowances, I just took out the prereq and said, forget about it, because we made enough allowances historically to prove the point that student success wasn't negatively impacted by that student not having that prereq. So I had to use that logic in my head when I did take out those prereqs.
Okay. Does anyone have further questions on the 13 revisions or the 2 new or the 1 deletion? Okay, all in favor of approving items 24-55 through 24-70, please raise your hand.
We're good.
Okay, lower your hands. Any opposed? No opposed. Those passed. Thank you. Antigone, we'll get back to you in a couple of minutes. We're going to go through a few other items first. Can I have a motion to approve items 24-71 through 24-73? We have new curriculum, U215A Engineering Science AES degree, 2 new courses, which would be EGR 100 Engineering Lecture, EGR 103 Engineering Graphics. Can I have a motion to approve these 3 items?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Sheldon, could you please present this? And what you see on your screen also includes the categories that AES can be taken under, but I think Sheldon will be able to explain that better. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Farzan is here as well, so he can answer more specific questions about the content and things. But yeah, this is a new, well, it's new, but we actually did have an AES degree a long time ago. So this is to sort of bring it back. An AES, it has a little bit less gen ed than like an AS degree, so they can fit in more of our new EGR courses. So there's a bunch of advanced EGR courses we had passed last year. And so it's a way to get them a lot of their engineering bachelor's degree done while here. So it's sort of the common thing that engineering students who start at a community college like ours are able, it just gets them off to a much better start. So it's built in to go to sort of UIC or Champaign or IIT. And so within that, it's getting them all their calculus and physics, and then they specialize based on sort of which engineering subset they're in. You see those ones listed here. So, there's more computer science classes in that one. Industrial has like a business class. You go through organic chemistry and the chemical engineer. So these are just sort of the common ones. This is what you see. We followed. IAI has an AES sort of template to use. But to do this, we did have to create 2 new EGR courses that we didn't make before. So this degree is the whole reason we created all the EGR classes a semester or 2 ago. But to make it work, you need to have this engineering lecture class. And then you need to also have, I think 103 has a different name. It's like design, engineering design. I think
it is engineering graphics.
Yeah, engineering graphics. So that's one that, again, we're doing these are just the requirements for any AES degree that you see out there. Those are the last 2 classes missing. So we got those put in.
Thank you, Sheldon. Farzan, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, so now we are in a much better position to start the degree. We have a partnership building up with Fermi National Lab. So we will have a cohort that will be supported by Fermi, and then we'll build the rest of the classes around that cohort. So I think this was the right time to get that degree through.
With the cohort, is Fermi sending us students, or are our students signing up to be in that cohort?
So we have applied for a grant with department in collaboration with Fermi to Department of Energy, and it's almost through. And like 5 of our students, their tuition fee as well as stipend would be covered by that grant.
So any Triton student that shows up and says, I want to do engineering science, are they offered to be in that cohort?
So we'll probably have to pick the best 5. We'll award those, and we'll do that in collaboration with Fermi, and then the rest of the students. We still have like enough students. So like maybe we get enough students in physics courses, but when we start splitting them into all the specialization courses, then we have to group them together. For example, if we offer a course, circuit analysis, it's accepted for electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, and industrial, but it doesn't count for computer engineering. So we were getting students, maybe like 8 students, and a lot of our students were not taking those courses here. But if we are offering them now under the AES degree, along with the collaboration with Fermi, then we'll definitely have enough students that we can consistently offer these classes moving forward and build up our course, our degree.
Okay. Does anyone have another comment on that? Maybe Antigone, that's why your hand was up. If you have any comment to add to that or a question about it.
Regarding the Fermi, I just put a post for everybody. We've had 3 of our students already that I'm personally aware of who've gone through the Fermi internship program. It's an excellent program. and all of ours are now onto university. So this is open not just to the AES students, it's open to the college as a whole. So that's the whole family of the engineering family. So that's something that needs to also be understood. As far
So
as
is
the,
that what, in what program are they in that? Are they in the AAS as well?
yeah, they're in the
Are you
AAS for
with
engineering
ENT?
tech. Yes, our students are the ones who've gone through this. So it's an excellent relationship that predates this. This will just enhance the opportunities for the college to, as long as, again, I'm just making a statement about this because I don't want people to have the impression that they can only be, that it's only open to the AES degree seeking student. It's also for the engineering tech students as well.
And this is
So the
a
Fermi
grant that,
relationship is much bigger than one curriculum.
what is Fermi looking for? What kind of professionals?
Hands-on. That's why they
Whether
came
it
to
be
us
one of
years
these
ago.
engineerings or one of the engineerings you see on the screen or your ENT degree.
Yeah, they're looking for students to be research assistants. My own son was one of them. He has subsequently moved on to IIT, but my other three were before him.
Mhm.
And I gave you guys the link. This is something we should be pushing across the campus. This is
Well,
not
and that's
unique
why
to
I'm
one area.
I'm taking an extra minute to make sure everybody is aware of the situation because I want to ensure that our students are taking these degrees, but then have somewhere to move on to afterwards. So we have to make sure that
100%.
we know,
Yes.
that the students know, and the way they're going to know is if we know.
Yep. And this
Um,
community college one, we've been pushing this one uh, for well over 10 years.
I'm sorry, for how long?
At least 10 years.
Years. Okay, I thought you said
Yeah.
days, Antigone. I was
No,
like,
no,
wow.
no, years. Years.
Okay, thank you.
It's
Sue,
a
would you like
wonderful
to?
opportunity.
Sue,
Hi.
would you like to comment?
I appreciate that we are applying for a grant. We don't have an understanding if we have it. And this is really a curriculum issue. It's not about getting a grant. A grant would be nice to supplement this, but this moves forward independent of a grant or not. This curriculum was developed in alignment with University of Illinois Granger School of Engineering so that our students will transfer as a junior going in to a four-year engineering program. Typically, students from associate degree programs from community colleges do not transfer as such. So that's the prime focus of moving our students in as juniors when they get to the four-year institution. We will also be looking to work with dual credit students to try and start getting them interested early on in high school, meeting the minimum qualifications they can in the high school. Most of this bulk of the work has to be done here at the college, but to try and appeal to some of those high performing students in the high schools to start here instead of going to a four-year institution. So I do appreciate possible Fermi grant that's independent of approving this curriculum though.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. Sue, would you repeat what you said? You were working with a four-year school. What was that one?
It's University of Illinois. It's Granger School of Engineering.
Okay.
That was not me. That was Jeanette Farzan and everybody else. I'm just surmising
yes.
what they all did.
Thank you. Thank you. But it would, this degree would go to others, but that's the path that we kind of went towards with the U of I.
Yeah, I think Farzan can speak to it too. I think they've looked at IIT and maybe some other schools too, but Granger is really reaching out to all community colleges in the state to try and get that alignment at this point in time.
Okay.
So that's why we're moving forward with this with such aggression.
Thank you. And I know that Farzan did say UIC and IIT. I'm going to bypass the hands. Please be patient. I want Farzan just to comment on that.
So a lot of the courses that were designed were after looking at curriculum from these places so our students can transfer without any issues. We had discussions with the U of I, and I think we started talking to them around like 2020. Back then, they had a little bit of more stringent requirements that all of our students must take all of the courses in the same sequence, in the same as within a cohort. so that they were taking courses in parallel with their students. But now they have relaxed that, which allows our students, because our students are not always taking their calculus courses and physics courses in exactly the same semester sequence. So now they have put down the requirements in terms of which courses they would like our students to take. And so we looked at that list of courses. The 2 courses that were missing, they were created and they are here. And then we built up the whole AES 4-semester program to satisfy all the requirements of UFI.
Okay, thank you. Bill Justice, please.
I just got a question because earlier when he made the clarification, of course my technology goes in and out. So is this a cohort based, and this is open admission or going to be a selective admission?
Farzan or Sheldon, do you have a comment on that?
The degree is going to be open. The degree's for everyone. It's just this, if we get this grant, it will help fund a cohort of students in it. But this degree is just another degree. We already have a lot of students asking for it and wanting it.
Okay.
So that's
Yeah,
sort of a
it's
side
perfect. It's perfect for what's happening out there. So yeah, good job.
Thank you. Panos?
Yeah, hi everyone. I like to, I'm sending you the link of the Illinois Articulation Initiative course description for our EGR 103. It's important to emphasize the presence of design, and for courses that we're starting, from scratch, I would just use the identical course description found on IAI page. So on IAI page, it says engineering, design, graphics, and then it articulates the value of design. So that's my only suggestion. Please consider injecting the word design. You can have engineering design, that's fine. You can have engineering design graphics, that's fine. When you have engineering graphics, having been on the panel before, it invites people to start comparing whether or not it's just a CAD course, or if it has design components. And you can't believe how much time is spent on taking apart syllabi that they don't have a prevalent presence of the word design on them.
Okay, thank you. Sheldon and Farzan, have you thought about that title? Engineering graphics is what it's being presented to us today as excuse me, because I know it's wrong on the PowerPoint. It's EGR 103 is being presented to us as engineering graphics. Panos suggested putting the word design in that as a title. Farzan or Sheldon?
That's a good suggestion. I think we should make that change.
Sheldon?
Yeah, that would be fine.
So would you could you verbally tell me then what you would like the title to be, Sheldon?
I like the idea of matching the II EGR 941. So it's engineering, design, graphics. This one also says /CAD. Should we add that, Farzan? Or just do design graphics?
I think just design graphics would be good.
I think so too. Okay.
Engineering, design, graphics. Could you mark that, Susie? Jeanette, are you okay with that?
Is this for 100 or 103?
This is for 103. It is wrong on the PowerPoint. Please don't look at that. EGR 100 is engineering lecture. EGR 103 would move to engineering, design, graphics.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Thank you.
Because this will be a sister course to our engineering graphic design class that we have, that we're actually also still seeking approval for the EGR 941 designation. The only other thing I would ask is eliminating the specificity of the software, because it specifically says SolidWorks. And that might be a U of I thing, but working with enough of the other institutions over the years, not every institution uses SolidWorks specifically. And by being that specific on the parametric modeling software being used, it could cause a student an issue at another institution.
Is that in the course
That's my only
description?
advice.
Antigone, is that in the course description or is that in the topics?
It was in the course description the last time I saw it, which was a while back. When I saw it inside there, when I was working on my curriculum changes and said, hey, wait a minute, why are you guys doing this? I understand why it's being done, no problem. But my suggestion back then was to remove the SolidWorks reference.
And that's in the course description.
To the best of my knowledge, I don't know if it got removed subsequently.
I'm
Okay.
looking in the committee packet that went out, and it just says three-dimensional computer-aided design. I'm not
Oh,
seeing
good. Then it got fixed. All right.
SolidWorks.
As long as it's fixed. Yeah, don't use SolidWorks. Please do not reference a specific software. That's
No,
my
I
only
remember
advice.
that conversation. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah,
It
because
could be
I
in
know
like
that
the syllabus somewhere or something. but
maybe
it's not
maybe it was wherever it is. My advice is expunge it from there because you want the flexibility to accommodate multiple parametric software packages to be utilized by yourself, by us, anybody, because we're going to be sharing the software we have anyways, because it'll just be used across the campus because we teach SolidWorks anyways, but I don't want students to get dinged by a university that's going to say, well, that says you only learn this one and we want you to do that one, so retake the class. I can hear that happening, having been a U of I grad myself.
Okay, thank you. All right, Panos?
Yeah, I also would like to suggest that the word design is injected in the course description. And again, I'm going back to, since this is one new course, right? It's not that we're revising anything existing. Feel free to cut and paste the description from the IAI page, because people will say, wow, this is exactly what we asked. And then, of course, please ensure the stated outcomes come very close, if not being identical, to what you see on the web. It makes it very clear to the panel that this is a design course that is using CAD concepts to instantiate concepts, but it's not a CAD course. It's a design that has to use a tool to articulate to the students how to use CAD to capture their designs. So please ensure we get as close to what you see on the web as possible.
Thank you. Sheldon, did you want to comment back on that? Did you want to add anything or keep it as is?
I'm looking right now at trying to compare them.
Go ahead, Farzan.
Yeah.
So this update on the engineering design graphics on II website, it happened so close to when we submitted it. So if you look at the date, the revision date, it's November 7th. So we can certainly try to get it as close to our II description. It only helps.
Yeah, it looks like this goes effective in this coming spring. I don't think we were looking at this when because we use this website, but I think this is new from when we put this together.
The website has new information.
Yeah, the IAI, iTransfer stuff.
Okay.
It does look something around saying developing design objectives could be added, and that might bring it a little closer.
So I don't want to rush you, but what we can do is if we vote, we can say that you're adding the word design into the engineering lecture and you're adding potentially the word design into the course description. And if you wanted to send us that later, we could disseminate that to the committee.
Yeah, because it does say like in that thing, I can see what Panos is saying, like it says 20% of lectures must be devoted to design. So it seems like that is the new update, is like this class really needs to be design based, which again, it's not changing the class. I think it's just make sure we're using the right word.
Right, right. So I have no problem voting on this with the input that design will be in the title and design will be in the course description. So just so the committee members know that. And is there any other comments from the committee on the 2 new courses, EGR 100 and EGR 103? Okay. So what we'll do is we're going to take a vote now on items 24-71, the new AES degree, as well as 2 new courses, 24-72, 24-73, EGR 100, engineering lecture, EGR 103, engineering design graphics. Can everyone who is in favor, please raise their hand.
John Cody, are you voting? Okay, we're good.
And lower your hands. And any opposition? Okay, thank you. And Sheldon, if you just want to email the course description today or tomorrow to Susie, and then I'll send that to the committee with the correct title, the correct course description.
Okay. Yeah, it'll come from Farzan or I, and we'll.
Okay, thank you.
We'll copy Jeanette as well.
Thank you. We have one more item from Sheldon. We have, can I have a motion to approve item 24-74, which is a new course, PHS 240, Math and Statistics for Science. Can I have a motion to approve from the committee?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Sheldon, do you want to comment on this really quickly?
I'm going to let Vince Radel do this. This is his new course from chemistry.
I'm sorry, I see your name on it. That's why I'm always calling.
Yeah, no, I'm here as chair, but I have, just helping to support them. So he is here, so I'm gonna let Vince talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hi. So this course would be an introduction for mathematics for scientists, all the way through doing statistics and statistical analysis. So it prepares students for upper level courses. It also would prepare students that maybe want to go right into the workforce. We see it as sort of a companion to someone who wants to do research in the PLUS Lab so that they know how to analyze their data.
Michael?
A couple questions. One is this, have you talked to the math department about this? Because you're basically teaching a math class in the science department. And the other question is, have you checked to see if those psych classes are running regularly? I help psych students a lot, and I don't recognize either one of them.
Okay, I'm sorry. We're not doing the psychology right now. We're just doing PHS 240.
Well, isn't it saying that it's going to take? Oh, those are new courses. I thought those were requirements for this degree.
No.
I was going to tell them, I don't think they offer those. Okay,
no,
then I will just go back to my original question.
I should have put it on 2 different slides. I'm sorry. We didn't do the psychology.
That's okay. I was just warning them. I don't recognize these courses. And now I know why not, because they're not on the catalog yet. Okay, so I'll just go back to my original question. Did you talk to Beth about, it's being okay with you teaching a math class in the science department? I mean, if you did rhetoric for sciences, I wouldn't, I'd want to know about it. I'll say that much.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And no, I have not talked with the math department. I could point out that the emphasis in the class is using mathematical tools to analyze scientific data. So it goes beyond just learning the theory and practice of the mathematics itself.
Okay, that helps a lot. Is that an IAI title, Math and Statistics for Science, or is that something?
This is not intended to be an IAI course.
Okay. I would maybe talk to Glenn's here if he has any comment. Maybe talk to Beth about the title through me, but maybe it wouldn't throw other people. Just something to think about. It's not something I'm going to personally rail against, but again, I could see where the math department might have a question about it. But the way you described it, I actually don't think it would be a problem, except maybe the title, because it sounds like a math course.
Right. This course would mostly be using a lot of case studies, and analysis
get it
of
now. Yeah,
various types of data.
Yeah, I get it now. It's really the title that threw me. I
Sure.
think that, and I guess I'm not going to speak for Beth. Maybe she'll think it's just fine. If I were a student, I would think I was taking a math class, but that's, for you guys to figure out.
Good point.
John?
Okay, so I'm in the health sciences, but I've taught mathematical statistics and what have you. And I understand that it's math, more applied math than anything else, particularly as it relates to scientific data and analysis. But like when you get to the statistics part of it, we almost always use case studies that come from a variety of scientific disciplines, including the social sciences, behavioral sciences, and whatnot. So yeah, I think Michael's recommendation is prudent because there might be a class that is so similar that its necessity might be questioned. That's my 2 cents for what it's worth.
Thank you. Antigone?
I concur because, well, you have Math 170, which is the stats class, and that is transferable. So it could be a question of the transferability of this particular course if it's too unique. Like we have the issue with Math 122 that used to be Tech 122. Having the departments take back the math movement. I mean, I'm just wondering if we just leave it all housed in the math department and accommodate to have those of us who teach in those areas actually teach those particular courses. So instead of a physics 240, have it as a math 240, but taught by the science faculty if that's the twist they want to use. With like Math 122 taught by tech teachers, those of us who do it in a hands-on way, be allowed to do it. Could that something like that be done?
Well, if they have the credentials under that department in prefix, it's a possibility. Sheldon?
If a lot of this is around the title, and I guess I'll be interested from Glenn, but like, would changing it to like data analysis or applied analysis in the sciences
can I
or
ask you a
something
question?
with that?
What is the effective date on this? The effective date for when the class would be taught? The first time.
I can't remember precisely what I went in.
Can you look, Susie? I'll have Glenn go while Susie's looking at the effective date for me. Go ahead, Glenn.
Okay, I'm not going to speak for Beth. I do think you should still run this by our department chair. But just for the 170 component of this, 170 has a lower prerequisite than this course. So it's not the same thing. 170 is a basic introductory level stats course that goes across many different majors. So this has a 110 or higher, which indicates to me that this would go beyond what we would teach in a Math 170 course for the specifics of these particular science courses. So I don't think at first glance this would be a duplication at all, but I would still run it by Beth to, just to make her aware of that, to have that discussion.
Okay,
I
thank
just wanted to put that out there. Yeah.
Thank you. Susie, did you get the effective date on it?
Yes, it's effective fall.
Okay, so if we bring this to the February meeting, then we would not be losing any time. Is that correct? We can we'll still be effective in the fall.
It can, yes, but
what?
I just found out that they're already doing fall scheduling.
Okay.
Okay.
But because it's a new class, it wouldn't be like canceling anything and adding something. It's just we would have to add it later. All right. So I think we'll just hold this item for the February meeting. Do I need to have a motion to approve that hold or to pull it from the agenda? Maybe I do, so I'm just going to ask for it. Can I have a motion to hold item 24-74 PHS 240 for the February meeting? Just
Yeah, I'll make that motion, Julianne.
okay. And second?
Second.
Okay, so we'll just hold that 24-74 for February. We'll make sure that's on the February meeting, and then you could have time for the departments to talk. We are going to vote on, no, that's it. That was the only item we were in discussion right now. So we're going to move on to the next two items, which is, can I have a motion to approve 24-75 through 24-76, two new courses in psychology? We have Psych 203, Psychology of Religion, Psych 204, AI and Human Behavior. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
I'm going to ask, is anybody here to present it before we even get any further? I'll give it about 30 seconds. Anybody here to present Psych 203, 204? Okay, can I have a motion to hold items 24-75 through 24-76 to the February meeting?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, so all the things on your screen right now we're holding until February. We're going to move on to exciting new curriculum here. Can I have a motion to approve 24-77 through 24-86, which is HVAC, 2 new curriculum and 8 new courses? Can I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
So moved. I'll second.
Thank you. Who's here to present this? Is Justine here? Who's here?
Who made the motion?
Christina is here too, so I'll start, and Justina can help me out on some parts of it. This is a very targeted certificate to address a high demand, high volume need for installation technicians of residential heating and cooling systems. We sized it specifically so that the first of 2 stackable certificates can be completed by high school seniors, as well as WEI, Workforce Equity Investment programs. And as you can see, I think it's on page 924, the courses are listed. We have, in the first 12 credit hours, there is 2 industry recognizable credentials. The students will be prepared to earn a 608, that's a credential that lets them handle refrigerants, EPA credential, that's through the HAC 105. And then another one is OSHA 10, that's a sharing course available through the architecture program. Each course is 1 credit hour. All courses are designed to be delivered in 8-week format. So in the first 8 weeks, the students will learn about these industry recognizable certificates and learn about electricity and electronics, since everything is controlled by AC, DC voltages and microcontrollers, right? That they take a lot of readings and make different adjustments on flow, on what to turn on and what to turn off. Once they have that foundational knowledge, they move into taking a Cooling One course. We talk about Cooling One first because a lot of the technology used, especially if you start moving south from our area, nowadays, let's say new installations may use heating pumps. That basically, right, it's an air conditioning unit that if you need heat from the outside, you turn it, let's say, inside out. If you need to take heat from inside to the outside, you flip the operation. So it's one and the same unit. It all depends which way you want to expel or take up heat from. And then we do heating 1. It's a little bit more traditional. That requires either electrical or gas, or even in some cases, oil heating. So that comprises the first 12 credit hour certificate. Hopefully, a lot of our high schools will offer that to their seniors. Then we're working with the high schools. They have a work-based learning program. So if they can complete most of the content in the fall, they can find jobs in the spring. And assuming they find it of interest, a career, if they think they can make a career out of it, they can come back for the next 12 credit hours that they're more of what they already have mastered. So there's a little bit more cooling, a little bit more heating, a little bit more controls. And then we start also talking more about additional industry credentials. Some of them, they're manufacturer specific, because all manufacturers would like to have their technicians working with their product trained specifically to their particular product lines, and others are a little bit broader, that they demonstrate a technician has reached a certain level of ability to install and maintain residential systems. As far as I believe people, if I'm understanding, if I'm reading the text messages, we are using college-wide, we're using 3-letter prefix. So HAC stands for heating and cooling. If I went out to sell heating and cooling as a program, yeah, people should get it. But I think HVAC is something, and we looked it up. It's not patented by anyone, but HVAC, it's readily recognized as heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. So that's why in our program description, we state the HVAC installation assistance certificate prepares. So if I'm presenting to parents as well as potential students of the program, they will know what we're talking about. So I hope this answers some of the questions posted. As far as the /R, it is a large, it's a subset. These positions or these credentials are a subset of a very large industry, which includes heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration as we move. So if these participants or early, let's say, learners of heating and cooling develop a lifelong career, there's good chances many of them may move into industrial heating and cooling, which includes refrigeration. And from our understanding of how other community colleges are offering these programs, the short stackable certificates open the door for these completers, let's say, of the 12 credit hour certificate, joining union. A number of unions will accept this kind of knowledge as being suitable to earn some extra points, right, when they apply to join the union.
Okay, thank you. I do have one question on the credit hours. On the first 4 courses, I'm seeing 1 credit hour for HAC 105, 4 for 115, 3 for 125, 3 for 135. That's 11. So there is, it might be a discrepancy or the PowerPoint might be wrong, but it says HVAC. Go ahead.
There's one additional course, which is ARC 102, that will be part of that semester 1.
I see.
That's an
And it's
existing
1
course.
credit hour?
And it is 1 credit hour.
Okay, thank you.
It's
All right.
page 926 of our PDF. It lists semester 1, and you'll see it's 11433.
Okay, thank you. I reviewed it a while ago and I just forgot that portion. And when you were talking, I was wondering where that went. So that reminds me. Okay. Any other comments or questions for HVAC? All right, all in favor of items, let's see where we're at. Items 24-77 through 24-86, the 2 new HVAC certificates, the 8 new courses. Please raise your hand. Susie, let me know when you're good, and your mic is off.
Okay. Ellie, are you going?
Do we have enough with or without her?
We do, yes.
Okay, lower your hands. Any opposed? Any opposed? Okay, those items have passed. Thank you. Okay, can I have a motion to approve? Items 24-87 through 24-95. We have 2 revised criminal justice curriculum, 2 new courses, and 5 deleted courses. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And second?
Second.
Okay. The revised curriculum C243A, Criminal Justice Administration, AAS, U224A43, Criminal Justice, AA. We have 5 deleted courses, CJA 116, which is Current Security Problems, 117, Intro to Private Security, 118, Security Administration, 127, Correctional Counseling, 131, Correctional Procedures. The 2 new courses are CJA 155, Drug Society and Criminal Justice, as well as CJA 232, Crime and Corruption in Illinois. Greg, could you present these, please?
Sure, absolutely. The reason we deleted these courses is because we had a security certificate and a correction certificate. We suspended those, I believe, last year because we had virtually no students enrolled in either one of those certificates. So it made no sense to keep these classes. They haven't run in probably 5 or 6 years. You want me to start talking about the 2 new classes now?
Please, and then what was done with the curriculum as well?
Okay. Well, last year we eliminated a mandatory course, which was CJA 246, which opened up 3 elective credits for the students. So for the time being, we were allowing students to use other classes as electives. And then, after some discussion with my dean and associate dean, we realized, we're losing a lot of students from our program going into other programs to take an elective. So we decided to come up with a couple of new elective classes. Some of it is for students that don't necessarily want to be police officers, but may want to work in other jobs within the criminal justice field. I have a bunch of graduates who work now as probation officers or victims advocates. So I started looking for classes that were going to be more applicable to people who didn't necessarily want policing as a career. So the CJA 155, Drug Society and Criminal Justice, a lot of colleges and universities have classes very similar to this. In fact, we use Pearson for almost all of our books, and they have a book directly related to this. And it's not a class that would compete with yours, Julianne. It's not about addiction. It's more about what drugs and alcohol, how it affects society in general, and how it impacts the criminal justice system.
Right.
So on my curriculum sheet that I sent in, you see it talks about the history of, drug and alcohol abuse and how it affects the criminal justice system specifically, both for offenders and victims and so forth. So I thought that would be a good addition for students that might be interested in victims advocacy or probation or something along the lines, as opposed to being police officers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The second class.
It's not on the PowerPoint. I think it just got cut off, but it is CJA 232.
Okay. CJA 232 is Crime and Corruption in Illinois. Not to be too glib, but if anybody knows about corruption, the state of Illinois does. I mean, we got some pretty high profile trials going on right now. But not only that, I thought that the topic is kind of fascinating because I'm sure many of you as faculty members realize that our students don't know a whole lot about history. You know, I jokingly say this in class all the time. You know, what do they teach you guys in high school? Because I'll talk about stuff that's extremely important, and they've never heard of it. They're looking at me like I've just created something new for them. So, especially in the criminal justice field, I wanted them to know that, you know, there has been situations over the years in Illinois. I mean, literally since the late 1890s, that crime and corruption and politicians and crooked cops and crooked mayors and crooked governors, that stuff kind of goes hand in hand. So some of it is I don't know if I could say it's definitely, how do I phrase this? Yes, it's a criminal justice class, but I also think that we're going to cover a lot of the historical perspectives of the state of Illinois, and then how it ties back to corruption. I have a list of probably 40 topics that aren't in the book that, you know, I obviously am going to teach this in the beginning, but at least 40 topics about things in Illinois that are documented things. I mean, we're not like making stuff up here. You know, things that have happened. I mean, right now the Mike Madigan trial is going on. I mean, Alderman Ed Burke from Chicago just got sentenced, a couple of months ago. So it's pretty obvious. I mean, we've had 4 governors that have gone to prison in the last, 40 years. So I thought the topic would be interesting to students, both from a historical perspective and maybe from a criminal justice perspective. So that was my idea behind this class.
Okay, and those 2 classes will be electives in either one of these, AAS or AA?
Well, I guess the AA would be up to you guys, whether or not you think it would be a class that they could take. I'd be okay with that.
But right now it's in the AAS?
Yes.
Okay.
You would have to tell me whether or not you think the state of Illinois, if ICCB would approve these for the
AA.
The AA degree. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Michael?
I think that they have a lot of merit for both
Okay.
programs. Initially,
Yeah,
I was just looking
Greg?
at. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Greg. It wouldn't be the ICCB. It'd be the IA. So
Okay.
you would have to find an IAI course you think is the same as that, and then you'd probably have to change the name to match their course, and then you'd have to put it through. So it really wouldn't be a curriculum committee. I mean, some parts would, the details, but as far as whether or not it could be, an II course, that would actually be up to the IAI.
And the other portion of that is we do have classes that are not II that do count towards the degrees, and we would just have to make sure it's articulated with the other universities, which Susie sends out
Sure.
the forms to see if they would transfer or not to the state schools.
Right. I could do some research also and see what state schools offer classes that are the same or substantially similar. So at least we could talk about, apples to apples here.
Right. So we'll put them in the AAS for now, and Susie could send those out to see what other schools would accept them as electives. I know this firsthand because all of my classes are like this. I have no II, but all my classes will transfer, and so they do count for degrees. But II is initiative among Illinois, but it doesn't mean your class won't transfer if it doesn't have that II number.
Right.
So
yeah, I know Governor State takes everything in
Mhm.
our AAS program, and a lot of universities would not. I mean, they don't have a class about traffic enforcement, but Governor State takes it and plugs it in as an elective. So
I don't, in a long meeting, I don't think we want to totally open this can of worms again, but that's actually something we're talking about where the student, would need to know that, hey, Governor State will take this, but University of Illinois probably won't. And those are actually one of the things this committee is working on, to find a better way to get that information to the students who takes the credit and who won't, what your choices are. The nice thing with the II definitely opens up more schools. I think that's definitely true. But yeah, sure, if you've got other schools that'll take them, as the students just need to know that these are the schools. If you're going to transfer, you want to transfer this degree, here's the schools you got to pick from.
Well, I'm currently working with a former colleague of mine who is a professor at Western, and we're working together to try to put together a 2+2 with Western Illinois. For those of you who don't know, it's the largest criminal justice program in the state, and they have a complete bachelor's and master's degree online now. So he and I are going to be collaborating over the next couple of months to see if we can put together a 2+2, and then obviously this stuff will come up. If anyone has classes that are similar, it would probably be that school.
Okay. All right. So you could refer to transferology just to get a better idea as well, Greg, you or your
Okay.
student. I think we're ready to take the vote on these items unless somebody interrupts. I will say for all those in favor of items 24-87 through 24-95, please raise your hand.
We're good.
Lower your hand, lower your hands. Any opposed? Oh, me, I have my hand up. Hold on. Any opposed? Okay, those items have passed. Thank you. Okay, moving right along. A few more to go. Can I have a motion to approve 24-96 through 24-101? We have inactivation of 6 CIS curriculum. Can I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
So moved.
Second? Who was the second?
I'll take the second.
Susie, did you get that?
Is that Bill Justice second?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. These are to inactivate 6 curriculum in CIS. Is someone here to present this? Is it Dan?
Yeah, I don't believe Dan let us know he's ill today. I invited him to see if he can join as a participant. This way he can see the process, but I don't believe he was able to make it. So,
Okay. So
effectively, yeah.
go ahead. No, I was just going to say, so why are we inactivating these 6? And then I'll just run through the process really quickly.
Yes. These are programs that when we looked historically, in fact, if you go on track now, you may see 1 or 2 or 3, I think up to 4 or 5 persons who are coded with these academic programs, but they may not even be taking a CIS course, let alone actively pursuing the credential. Plurality of degrees, when we have thousands, I'm exaggerating, make a point, of students, it's very attractive. It gives the opportunity to students say, well, I want a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that. Unfortunately, we're in a situation that we need more students in less programs to reestablish a solid footprint in CIS. Which then will allow us to be able to offer a little bit more variety and make sure the variety we offer is in high demand by the industry right now. We have programs that over time, they were very popular when they were first introduced, but when newer programs were introduced, nothing was removed. So we have a relatively small department that has, I think, over 70 plus academic programs, and they all contribute 1 or 2 uniquely required courses, which means if you have 1 student or 2 or 3, that class will never run. So we are retreating a little bit. We've been successful promoting, let's say, 4 courses that are essential to computer science transfer students. We are working with the chair to rename those, so it's very easy for aspiring, let's say, 4-year computer science students and advisors to be able to say, okay, Panos, if you want to be a computer scientist, you need to take your physics, right, calculus, all this good stuff, and take these 4 courses that 3 of them have IAI designation. So when you transfer to, let's say, UIC, UIUC, in fact, feel free to include computer science in your AES. I didn't see it when we covered the program because as far as I know, they really like to see well-prepared, STEM-prepared students in their computer science offerings because it's a huge department, both at UIC and UIUC. So that's why we're scaling back a little bit the offerings to be able to have much stronger enrollment in programs that we're going to keep.
Okay, thank you. These 6 will be inactivated if the committee votes on that. What we'll do then is I will need someone from CIS to do a research request with all the student names, emails, and contact information, reach out to them to let them know that they have a specific time to complete the certificate. After that time, the certificate will be deleted. That will need to be brought to the curriculum committee for a vote on deletion. That they need to complete before then, or the certificate will not be valid. They cannot take classes in that certificate after that point in time. You can also encourage them if they want to transfer into a different certificate that has remained active, they can do so as well. But that communication does need to occur. Now that it is inactivated, I'm going to form a search committee from the curriculum committee. I will need rationale from the department chair as well as the dean, stating why it would be deleted, and then it will be brought to vote for deletion in the future. So that time period would have to be decided on by the CIS department if they want to come in spring or fall or next spring. It depends on how long you think the students need to complete the 6 inactivated curriculum. And that just takes time with reaching out to the students and then deciding when to bring that back for deletion. But do you understand the process then? So is it going to be inactivated if we vote on it today, reach out to the students, and then it needs to be brought back for a deletion?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, we've started reaching out to some students, especially when we see that, and we need to work with our advisors a little bit closer. We have some students that we can tell they started the program a year or 2 ago, and now they're on to something else. So in an ideal situation, we get a chance to talk with them. They confirm that I'm no longer interested in this certificate. Right. And we manage to shrink, instead of having a person, right, sign up under 4 academic programs, have them shrink it down to the one they're actually taking courses for. Sometimes it is a CIS offering. Other times it could be like something completely different, usually luckily still career and technical education. So let's say, for example, I work with a couple of students that they're CIS coded, but they're taking automotive classes. We have assumed at this point that they are not benefiting from financial aid. If they did, that would have taken care of itself a long time ago.
Okay. I also just want to mention, give me 1 second. I know we're running late, but I want to make sure I'm right. I also want to mention, if please, Panos and Jeanette, if you could talk with Jill present as well about the remaining CIS web certificate that she is thinking about communicating to keep that particular certificate. It's CIS web certificate. If you could talk with her over the next few weeks and see, I want to report back like in the spring about what we're doing with that particular certificate. But I do want the deans to speak with Jill on that one as well.
We already have a plan in place to have a conversation.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to vote on the inactivation, please now. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Did anyone else have a comment? Okay, let's vote on the inactivation of items 24-96 through 24-101, the inactivation of 6 CIS curriculum.
We're good.
Lower your hands. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Those have been inactivated. Do we have someone for nursing here to present this? Okay, so
I'm not sure, but what we're doing is to create.
Okay, hold on. Don't tell us what you're doing yet. I want a motion to approve items. Excuse me, it's only one item. A motion to approve item 24-102C218A nursing AAS. Can I have a motion to approve?
I approve, I guess. I mean, a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
If there is someone to, if the person is saying there's someone to present this, I motion to approve.
Okay, and Glenn?
Second.
Okay. Go ahead. If you could present this to us, because it is quite confusing that there's one one curriculum and it's got two different things going on. So I need a little bit more clarification.
We are devising courses to be taught of the nursing curriculum over the summer for the upcoming cohort of spring 2025. There have never been nursing courses actually taught over the summer, and this will allow us to meet the goal of having those courses available. And it's calling for a switch in two particular courses from one semester to another in order to make a more logical delivery for the students taking human growth and development and mother-baby courses.
Latrice?
Is Latrice there?
I am here.
All right.
The way those written, your prerequisites have to be redone. Remember, we talked about some of the things they're trying to get. They are trying to get off class offerings inside of the summer. The problem is that we have cohorts that start both in the spring and both in the summer. I mean, both in the fall and both in the spring. And so therefore, the reason why we got two listings, because we have to adjust based on the scheduling of our courses. We have to adjust them based on the cohort starts. That's why there's two listings that's going on there. And so
this will be published in the catalog two different ways based on when you start.
That's what it looks like to me.
That is correct. That's the way it should be presented.
Okay. Latrice, did you have anything else? Otherwise, I'll lower your hand.
I do have some. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I put my hand up. I do have something. I had spoken with both the deans and the associate deans on even yesterday about some of the prerequisites changes that they're doing, that EDU 206 cannot be put in the semesters that they're putting in, because there's a prerequisite for my course, which is peds nursing, and the students have to take that prior to coming into my course. And so it looks like some of the prerequisites are not in the right sequencings for the NUR courses.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then I'm not comfortable voting on that right now, just with knowing that there's some confusion over the prereqs. Sue, did you want to comment on this?
So what I will say to Dean Moran, that I will be willing to work with them. I gave Yolanda the previous workup on the curriculum that she can have, so she can know exactly what prerequisites go with which prerequisite for making those changes, so we can make certain the students have a smooth transition between the matriculation through the courses.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sue?
And
Sue, I don't know
if we get it in by February, it still can be implemented when they want it on, which is, I believe, fall of 2025. Correct, Dean Moran?
The upcoming cohort, spring cohort of 2025, will have the need for summer courses. And that was the whole premise of changing the degree plan.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the course that you're asking about, Latrice, is EDU 206, Human Growth and Development.
Correct.
It is in semester 2.
It cannot be moved from semester 2 unless
it is in semester 2.
I'm looking at the list that's here, right here, from the one for spring. It says that they're going to move EDU from semester 2 to semester 3. If they move it from semester 3, that means it's going to be enrolled at the same time as NUR 213 and 214, which are the courses I teach. They cannot do that.
Well,
and so it needs to be just readjusted. That's all.
I think that's just a small error, because in fall it is correct. In the fall semester, it's correct.
And the fall is saying is moving EDU to from
Excuse me, whoever has that, we can't hear the conversation anymore. It could be somebody speaking, I don't know, but I can't hear.
So the EDU 206 and the one that says students started in the fall. It says move EDU 206 from second semester 2 to semester 4.
Well,
So if
I'm
you
looking
move
at what was sent to me as far as the entire curriculum. And in the fall semester, the start of the fall semester, those students are taking EDU in the second semester. The spring, the ones that start in the spring, EDU is listed in semester 3. So I believe that that might be an error that has to be corrected. So I don't think both are inaccurate. I just think that EDU is the one error in spring start. I'm looking at the curriculum, not what's listed on Julianne's list.
Now, what was shared to us by Latrice was that 206 should be taught prior to maternal child and PD. And that's what we did by moving the spring offering, swapping speech with ED 206. So that way the ED 206 was taught prior to the maternal child and PD courses.
I think the challenge is that it's taught in the same semester that maternal child is taught. She would like it the semester sometime before it's actually being taught. Maternal
Well, that's
child.
what we did.
Well, I'm looking at the spring setup that Susie just sent to me. And in spring semester 4, EDU 206 is offered in the same semester as nursing 209 and 211. The class.
That wasn't the request that I made when I spoke with Susan yesterday.
So Susie, my question to you, if this comes through in February, can we still offer the summer class for the spring students in that summer, 25?
Susie, you're on mute. I don't know what the change is because on my paperwork, I see EDU 206 and nursing 209 in the same semester, which is semester 4 on both of these. Unless something changed after I printed these out.
I believe there were changes after you printed them out.
Yes. Is this for the spring start or fall start?
The fall is correct. Spring is not correct.
Okay. I'm looking at this one. EDU 206.
EDU has to be the prerequisites for 213, 214. Not just
So if you look at the spring semester, spring semester has all those courses in the same semester. EDU has to get out of spring semester 4 and has to be moved up.
Correct. And
I would encourage that. Can I just make a suggestion? If you move Allied Health 110 pharmacology to semester 4 and put EDU 206 up to semester 3, those are both 3 credits. It won't make a big difference in the total credits, and you'll have the course ahead of time so that the nursing maternal child the students will be prepped for that course.
If that's AHL 112.
112 cannot be put in the 4th semester. It has to be done before they go to 107, before they do med surg, because that's when they're doing drug calc and pharmacology. They won't be able to pass without it.
Well, then you can move to rhetoric if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Michael didn't hear me say that, but that's what you can.
May I speak, please?
Go ahead.
When I spoke with Susan yesterday, the final move was to take on the spring offering speech 101 from semester 3 and to swap it with ED 206 in semester 4.
That's what I did.
Then for the fall, it was moving Psych 100 from semester 2 to semester 4 and swapping it with ED 206.
Okay, I'm gonna give this like one more minute, but we can't be making these changes at the last moment without the committee having enough time to review this. So if we can hold this till February, I'm gonna hold it till February.
That's my question to Susie again. Susie, if this goes to the February meeting, will the students that started in spring of 25 be able to take the course in summer of 25? Is this an internal or does this need to go to the state?
No, this is internal, but if it's the effective date spring, they're going to follow that catalog.
Well, the students would be warned that they would be taking a class in the summer. The actual classes obviously are going to be figured out before we get to February, but they would be notified they'd be taking classes in the summer.
Yeah, I don't see the discrepancy because I have what Troy is talking about in the catalog page.
I don't think it's fair to the rest of the committee to have this conversation here. The nurses and Troy can sit and figure this out. But I think as long as we know we can offer those courses in the summer, that was the main objective of moving this curriculum forward like that.
I agree with Sue, and I said well said because I feel the same way. I can't vote on something with moving pieces this much. So I think we're just going to wait till the fall, till February.
They'll have those changes to you before the end of the semester so that you can advance this in February with no issue.
Yep. Okay.
So
So
then
I need
they could be effective for summer. Spring's going to be the same.
We only are really concerned about the students that are starting in spring.
Right.
Because they are the ones that are going to be impacted first by this.
Mm-hmm.
But I recognize we want to do both of them at the same time.
It's one program, so they'd have to go together.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion to hold item 24-102 C218A nursing AAS till February. Can I have a motion?
Well, you just made a motion. I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. All right. Moving on to the last, and then I do have two announcements, but there are no other items, so that'll make you all happy. Can I have a motion to approve 24-103 through 24-114? This is one new curriculum in welding and 11 new courses.
So moved.
Second.
Antigone, people are losing their attention span, so can we get through this one quickly? And then I have two announcements.
Okay, this is really fast. We are not in control of this curriculum. This is 100% a state level initiative. So all the courses in this certificate are being done specifically to state curriculum. A meeting that we had in the summer, this last summer. This is the outcome of all those meetings. We do not change the language. We do not change the initials being used, nothing. It is literally, we're running it through our process. ICCB knows about all this ahead of time. We just need to make it KISS simple. It's a basic welding certificate that is being done as a state initiative. So everything that you see in here, please do not tell me to change anything because I can't. This is all done exactly to the language, content to the language of a statewide initiative. So that's literally what it is. The only thing we got to correct is the course numbers. Is something I noticed a little earlier, but that's because we need to comply 100% to the state number structure, everything as much as we can.
Okay, Sue.
I don't want this to sound like we are doing this under duress. Antigone did sit on the
Oh
state.
yeah, no, I just said fast. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound
sit
that
on
way.
the state committee in the formulation of this curriculum. It does allow portability. So if I take 5 classes here at Triton and decide to switch to COD, everything will be transferred because, as Antigone said, it is a statewide curriculum. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't make my, you said make it fast, so maybe I said it too fast. I'm sorry. I didn't want it to make it sound like it was duress. No, this is a team
You were not.
effort, but
You were not too fast, Antigone. In fact, that's. I just want to very quickly say what Antigone just did is kind of how the curriculum committee is supposed to go. You've got it ready. Here it is. This is what we got. Any question? That's
Right.
that's really. This is not a work meeting. That what she just did could be a good example of how to present your curriculum. In fact.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any further questions on the welding? C449A, basic welding certificate. Panos.
Yeah, I was going to say this appears to be an attempt by the state to bring, let's say, a similarity that IAI has in career and technical education. So it's a first step. There are challenges, but it's a reasonable, good first step in a prefix or in a set of skills that they're readily recognizable around the state. So hopefully a number of colleges will offer the same courses, and then little by little we should be able to see a pattern of students enjoying, let's say, a higher level of mobility, right? So if somebody's coming from, let's say, Springfield or Peoria, over there they have a large presence of, especially in Peoria, Rivian is building vehicles, so they're probably doing, of course, they're doing a lot of robotic welding, but they're probably also doing some manual welding. So there, they have a certain kind of welding that they like these people when they come to Chicago and suburbs to be able to continue taking courses at community colleges like ours without having to start the welding sequence from zero. So I think that's the intent of the state. The reality is there's 48 community colleges, and we all have our way of teaching welding. Hopefully over time there will be some I'd say convergence to common curricula.
Okay, so this is kind of a universal certificate and courses. So we are now going to vote on items 24-103 through 24-114, the creation of a new welding certificate and 11 new courses with it. Please raise your hand. Lower your hands. Susie, is that enough? I think I'm losing.
Yes.
Lower your hands. Is there any opposed? Okay, those items have passed. I have two announcements. Very important, but I'll try to make them quick and not talk long on each. Here you see the spring dates and deadlines. The deadline for the February meeting is January 15th. We cannot take items late. We just can't do it. And that's what's caused this meeting to go a little longer than it should be, because there were changes coming in at the last minute, changes coming in, new items coming in well after the deadline. We can't have that because it's too confusing to the committee members to review the items. I reviewed items before the agenda planning, and there was still stuff coming in after that. We can't have it. So we have to adhere to these deadlines. What you see on the screen for spring, that is the dean to submit to curriculum. It's not faculty to submit to their department chair. So make sure these are adhered to. Otherwise, we're going to have to push the items to the next meeting. And I know that there's effective dates that you wanted to match, but then you're just going to have to think ahead quite a bit to make sure you're meeting those effective dates and submitting by time. The second announcement I want to make is, if you are revising any curriculum that entails courses from other departments, there needs to have conversations. And there was two items that we had on the agenda today, potentially three, that it was impacted by that. Think about the other departments and how your curriculum will impact other departments, or how, if there is courses in your area, in your curriculum from other departments, they need to be notified of any changes. We can't have that notification popping up at the curriculum meeting or in Watermark. There has to be conversation ahead of time to make the system work better and make it work more efficiently. So those are my two announcements. Don't be late, and make sure you talk and communicate with others on campus. Is there any other announcements? And please don't take those lightly. I went quick because we're running out of time, but we're running out of time because those two things weren't adhered to very well. All right. Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting at 4:12 for December 5th, 2024?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Okay, thanks everyone. Sorry it was too long, but thank you. Good hearing about the new curriculum.
Thanks, Julianne.
Hearing about the new curriculum.
Thanks, Julianne.
Thank you. I did stop the recording, I believe.